Hi, welcome to the EEVblog, an electronics engineering video blog of interest to anyone involved in electronics design. I'm your host, Dave Jones. Yep, okay, I'm back on. As you can see, I'm obviously not in the lab because it went horrifically wrong. I promised a good show, and sure enough, I ruined the wife's notebook. Woohoo! She's pissed. She can hear me too. I thought she wasn't. She was going to be at work today, but she's taken a roster. She gets rosters. She actually gets days off, and she's here, and I can hear her in the kitchen, and she's pretty pissed. So yeah, it looks like the water got in the notebook, and it shut down. It just shut down. Unbelievable. I'm trying to get it going again, but it's really oh, here we go. It's now booting. It's now actually switching on. So hang on, let me switch it back off. I'm actually getting blue lights now. It wasn't even acknowledging the soft power switch before, so now it's actually acknowledging the switch. Anyway, yeah, I won't muck around trying to fix a notebook because this ain't some geek IT show. So there you go. Yeah, I fixed it. I think there's the hard drive out of it, and there's the hard drive bracket, and it's all going back together. A couple of screws lying around, so there'll probably be a screw left over when I put it back together, but hopefully it'll work, because she wasn't cared about the notebook. All she cared about was a couple of files on there which she's been working days on. So if I don't get those files back, I'm in deep shit, really. So there you go. All right. So obviously we're not in the lab anymore. How's the frame rate, by the way? The frame rate looks really good on my screen here. So I'm not sure if that's translating through on the stream. It's good, better, much better. 15 plus frames per second. Wow, okay. Well, I should probably try. This is my old crappy webcam, like 5-year-old webcam that I filmed my very first blog on. And yeah, I just forgot I had it. And I probably should have tried that as a plug-in to the notebook, because I don't have, I can't move my other computer out there. I've got to use the wireless notebook to actually get the connection. So there you go. So I'll give that a go once I get the notebook fixed. It's one of those little Asus EEVPCs. It's a 1000 HE or something like that, the one with the 10-hour battery life, which is pretty cool. And it's her little baby. I gave it to her as a present, and now I've screwed it. Oh, God. Anyway, all she cares about is the files. Yeah. So it should come good. I mean, unless water actually physically got in the hard drive. Water was actually on top of the hard drive. It had actually got in very quick. So there you go. Anyway, let's get on with the show, shall we? How many viewers I've still got? I've still got 67 viewers. Thanks for hanging in. Brilliant. I promised a good show. And, well, you got to see me screw up live. How awesome is that? Excellent. All right, now let's start with questions. What's the time? 8:38. I'll probably call it quits at just after 9 or something like that, because I do actually have a paying job I've got to get to. So I sort of make my own hours, so it's all right. But yeah, so let's take some questions, shall we? I'm looking at the chat window here, and let's have a look. Like Spark Fun Dave, raising my hand. Someone's Dude Monkey. Dude Monkey's raised his hand. So what's your question, Dude Monkey? There's a question on aluminium PCBs, or do some practice mount MOSFETs on an aluminium plate, thick copper traces. Do you have some practice on this, and what is the cheapest way to get a couple of samples? The tooling is very expensive. Mount SMD MOSFETs on aluminium. No, you got to. Well, there's ways to do it, but you can mount. But you can. Aluminium PCBs aren't that expensive. If you go to one of the cheap Chinese manufacturers, they shouldn't be. But you know, when you're doing stuff like that, you just got to pay the money, really. This show is awesome already. Thanks, Master Burner. Buy yourself a tough book and you insist on drowning laptops. Well, see, the thing is, I was normally I only drink. I have a drink container with a screw top lid. It's a stainless steel water container. I was going to take that out there just for those last incidents, but because I was running late and I thought, oh, water, quick, and the wife gave me some in actual glass, in 2 glasses, and so I had 2 glasses sitting there, and that was a big mistake. So, oops. Make a t-shirt out of the laptop issue. Someone keeps asking, what are college EE classes like? They suck, basically. Yeah, what more can I say? Boring as batshit. All you do is sit there doing Maxwell's equations all the time. Give me a break. Anyway, how uncomfortable is that couch you're sleeping on tonight? Yeah, I'm in deep trouble. DM Landrum, almost 34 years old, going back to college and wondering if you think there is still room for an analog specialist, since this seems to be my area of interest. Yes, analog specialists are few and far between. My mate Doug Ford, who you saw in a recent video, he's an analog specialist. He really doesn't do anything else. He does analog, power supplies. He doesn't know anything about micros, and he does big power electronics and stuff like that. And he's got a very good business out of that, highly sought after. So yeah, there's and I've heard the same thing in the US as well. There's plenty of call for analog specialists, especially in the chip design area, but that's a whole different thing. So, yep. Yes, Chris is raising his hand. Sorry, I didn't get back to that other dude. I have a noob question. Do I have to incur another NRE charge if I change my design only slightly? I assume you're referring to PCBs. Yes, you do have to pay another NRE if you change any of the layers. Typically, if you change any of the Gerber layers or even the silkscreen overlay, if they've already gone and printed, if they've already done the mask for that, then yes, you'll have to be up for the NRE cost again. So that's an unfortunate cost. Many times I've sent my file off to the PCB manufacturer, and then a couple of hours later I've realised I've made a mistake, and I've got to quickly email them, stop work, and I'll send you some new files. Sorry, we've already we've already started the job and we've already made the mask, and you'll have to pay a new NRE. Anyway, happens all the time. What program do I use to design PCBs? Altium Designer, but let's not go there. Altium/Protel I've been using for 20 plus years. So yeah, Altium and Protel. Tell us about the license plate. Yeah, license plate out in the lab. I won't go get it, but the license plate is a replica from my favourite movie, Back to the Future. And if you've been watching the blog for quite some time, you'll know that I'm always throwing, well, if you're aware of it, I'm always throwing in little Back to the Future references. Hence my t-shirt, my flux capacitor t-shirt, which you can buy on the merchandise page. And that's my own hand-drawn flux capacitor from the movie, which they took down. There's a whole blog on that if you haven't seen it. Yes, the out-of-time number plate, I'm just a huge fan of Back to the Future, and I thought it would be a cool thing. It's a replica number plate. It's got exactly the same stickers on it and everything, so it's very cool. I love my number plate. So I thought I'd just stick it in the background there, and the out-of-time symbol, I think is just great, the out-of-time thing. It's just, I'm always out of time to do the blog, so I think it's quite apt. Next question. Now I do need a drink, but I'm not going to get a glass of water this time. I'm going to soldier on. Dave, how did you start your formal electronics study at 15? Well, I left school and I went straight to, what we call college here is different to college in the US, which is university. I went to college here when I was 15 and started studying electronics because I couldn't hang around for another 2 years of high school. I thought that was shit. So learning nothing. So I went straight off to college here, technical college, and started studying electronics when I was 15. I finished that course when I was 17, and continued on after that, but then I got my first job at 17 in the industry. So there you go. Next question. How about a tutorial on PCB design techniques or a book suggestion on the subject? Books are hard to get on just generic PCB layout. You can get books on high-speed digital design and aspects like that. Well, I won't rattle names off the top of my head. I can't. I'm hopeless at that. But yeah, there are books, but not on just generic PCB layout. So I'll probably do some blogs on that, because I did a trial with the screen capture thing last week with that with my latest blog, capturing the DigiKey screens and all that, and that seemed to work quite well. So I might do a blog on PCB design sometime, but there's so many aspects to it. I'd have to break it down into individual topics and do like a 10-part blog or something like that. Okay. Yeah, everyone buy the t-shirt so I get the profits to pay for fixing my wife's notebook. Is it possible to get 20 kilowatts out of a battery that's mounted to a bike? Yeah, of course. If you've got a big enough battery and it's already pre-charged, you can... I don't know the energy off the top of my head, but you'd have to get... you could probably get it out pre-charged, but riding a bike, you're only going to get about... I think it's about 500 odd watts. If you're going... The average person riding a bike going flat out, I think can generate, 500 watts or something like that of actual energy, and then you've got conversion efficiency. So if you're charging a battery or developing power in real time from a bike, you're only going to get, a couple of hundred watts out of it or something like that, going at full steam. So don't quote me on that, they're just figures off the top of my head. Would I ever consider doing a blog on the Parallax propeller chip? I haven't used it. It's novel, it's with its parallel architecture, it's multiple cores, you can run different threads at the same time and things like that, and it's got VGA output, I believe, and it's a nice little chip. No one's ever going to use it in industry. It's just one of those hobbyist things. It seems to be gaining a bit of popularity. I don't know, maybe one day if I get a dev kit for it or something like that and I play around, maybe, but I don't really think so. Not for the time being. Dave, you're etching your own prototype PCBs. I used to etch my own prototype PCBs. I've got a light box which I made with the UV lamps, and I've got a glass thing with clamps, and I just laser print the the overhead transparencies. That's how I used to do it, but I don't do it anymore. It's just not worth the hassle, really, making my own boards. So I just send them off to PCB Cart or somebody else and just get them made. It costs a bit more, but it's just no hassle, and you get professional silkscreen solder mask plated through, and making my own boards, I'm well past that. Maybe you could revise the PCB design tutorial. Yes, I wrote the PCB design tutorial in like a weekend or a day or something over a weekend, because the reason that came about is I've always wanted to do a PCB design tutorial. I thought, but it always seemed so hard. And then I talked to Leo Simpson, the editor of Silicon Chip magazine, and I said, hey, I think I could probably do a PCB design tutorial. And he said, oh, great, fam, we've been thinking about doing the same thing, but we don't know how to go about it. And I went, well, I'll have something for you on Monday. So, yeah, I wrote it over the weekend, and it's huge, massive amount of downloads. Now I've made it available as a PDF, and I get lots of money from the Google ads from that website too. That's a big earner for me, actually, just that PCB design tutorial page. So, yeah, I'm keeping that up there. But yeah, I've always promised to expand it and stuff, and it's just time, really. So, yep. Do I only tinker with modern stuff or play around with tubes and analog stuff? Well, analog's still modern. There's nothing... ancient about analog, really. Tubes, no, I've never been into tubes and, you know, all that sort of stuff. Nixie tube displays, that doesn't, you know, they're kind of cool, but I've never really been fascinated by that. I'm more of I grew up in the solid state era, so, you know. Yeah, no, I don't like that old stuff. It doesn't really interest me. Oh, what else have we got here? This looks pretty shit, because I'm not looking at the camera, I'm just looking at the chat window here. And oh, FPGAs, not to start a holy war, but Xilinx or Altera. Oh, jeez, you know, how long's a piece of string, really? Xilinx is almost certainly the most popular, I think. Altera are pretty darn good, and the other vendors out there, you know, Actel and stuff like that, they got some cool devices. So pick a dev kit, toss a coin, pick a dev kit and go for it, really. Yeah, it really makes no difference in the end. They've all got, Xilinx and Altera both have similar competing technology. What you can do with one, you can do with the other. They've got similar chips, so really it doesn't matter. As a student pursuing an interest in embedded design applications, what degree track would you recommend? Well, degrees are all different all around the world, so it's hard to kind of say Australia is going to be different to the US and all sorts of things, but really it's all about the software these days. It really is. If you're into embedded design, okay, well that includes hardware, but embedded hardware design's not that hard. So if you do just a regular EE degree, you're going to learn about embedded stuff. But really, a lot of embedded programmers just are computer science guys who are very in computer science degrees, who just are very fluent in C++ and all that, you know, really hardcore, and the web-enabled stuff these days, because all these embedded applications are all web-enabled. You know, you've got to talk Ethernet, you've got to talk IP stacks and TCP IP and all that sort of stuff. So you really have to be a software guru to do the whole embedded application show. I suck at those real, you know, those big interface protocols for embedded stuff. My software skills just aren't that advanced for, you know, writing my own TCP IP stack or troubleshooting in a TCP IP stack or something like that. So yeah, really anything with a higher software bent on it, really. What else have we got? You won't really learn much from uni. Yeah, definitely. Yes, the best electronics guys do stuff outside of uni. Don't rely on uni or any other study to teach you what you want to know, because it's just not really. You know, very few people come out of uni being really, really good. They just, you know, they just don't. The ones who are passionate and do it outside of uni are the ones who are going to win, for sure. Things are being censored on the chat. It's obviously killing some choice terms there on the chat. Pick a uni with a good student union. Jeez. What percentage of your time at work do you actually spend doing electronics design as opposed to testing, etc.? Well, not a huge amount of electronics design these days. There's lots of FPGA stuff and dicking around and just testing things and setting up production test jigs and stuff like that. So yeah, it varies, it comes and goes. I might be solid for a month doing electronics design and layout, and then the next couple of months I might spend, you know, doing none at all and just you know, setting up some production test software or something like that. So yeah, it varies all the time, but that's my current job anyway. Who did I look up to? Can you be more specific? Mr. BBBB? School sucks, yeah. on, any more questions? I can't really see any huge questions there, so come on, throw me a couple. Someone's calling somebody a douche. Oh, was as a douche. The was. Oh yeah, he's a bit lame, but he's the was. So you know, got to give him cred for that. Do I have any experience with Zigbee? Not a huge amount. No, I've played around with it, but not a huge amount, especially down in the protocol stack area. Once again, that software stack kind of thing. Not really. Recommended language for writing a quick and easy PC interface. I still use Visual Basic. I think Visual Basic's pretty cool. So I use an old version of Visual Basic. I don't know what the current one is or anything like that. So how can a software developer manage to design electronics? Do I recommend, do they just read The Art of Electronics? Well, that's where the hobby thing comes in. You can be a software person and just and have an avid interest in hardware outside, and that's going to be enough for you to get by in a job and do the hardware and the software, I think. So yeah, it's just a matter of what your experience is. It doesn't matter where you got that experience, whether you have a formal degree in it or what. It doesn't make any difference at all. So you can certainly learn hardware on the side. The same with software as well. So you can be a qualified hardware guy and learn software and be good at software. So ask earlier whether Arduino is watering down the field of embedded design. I say not. No, it's not. It expands the embedded design. It gets more people into it. You're not forced to, the whole industry is not going towards the Arduino, really. It's, it's just another tool available for people who prefer just to get something up and running real simple. Heck, if I had to get something up and running, if I had to get, if somebody said, quick, I need something in, 20 minutes to, set some logic outputs or do something like that or display something on a new LCD, I'm going to reach for my Arduino because it's just simple. I'm not going to put a PIC on a breadboard and wire in the things. I might get a PIC dev kit out or something I have, but those Arduino boards, they're like a little dev kit. So, you can just get something up and running real simple. So no, I don't think they're watering down the embedded field, but, it's just another tool. There's always been things like the Arduino. They're just, it's just a different... a different flavor, really. The RIGO 100 megahertz bandwidth when the DACs are running at 100, is it due to multiple DACs? They're ADCs, not DACs, analog to digital converters. There's the analog to digital converters, there's 10 of them, and they each run at 100 megahertz, so they're staggered, as I mentioned in my blog. That's how you can get the 1 gig sample per second. Dave, when we will see you on Jerry Ellsworth channel? Your voice is loaded on the text to speech now, so you can even sound like yourself on the speech bot there. What? My voice is loaded on the text to speech? Where's that? Someone email me that link, please. Don't do it here because I can't. I'm not capturing this window, by the way. I forgot to start my capture program when I did this, so this blog probably may not go to air as a pre-recorded thing. I don't know. Anyway, so Jerry Ellsworth, well, she contacted me, must have been 6 months ago now, and she wanted to know, she liked my channel and wanted to know if we could do, some sort of, something together, and yeah, that'll probably happen, but I haven't heard from her again, so I might have to make contact with Jerry. She's pretty cool. Maybe I can cut in on one of her shows, or she can cut in on one of my live shows or something like that. So yeah, that might happen. Multimedia question: have you been using the Agilent U1242? It's the 1252, isn't it? I don't have the 1242. I think it was the 1250. No, it's the 1253. That's right. No, I haven't been using it all that much because I've got so many damn multimeters. I've got multimeters coming out my backside. No, I haven't been using it much. I want to know why LCD modules are so goddamn expensive. They're not that expensive. You can get them for $10 from various suppliers. LCD modules aren't that bad. You can get dot matrix graphics ones, little 160 by 120 by 64 dot matrix. You can get dual line displays for like $10. It's not a problem at all. You go to you can get them even from DigiKey and Mouser at those sort of prices, I think. Are there any new developments in electronics that excite you? Oh God, can't keep up. Oh, that's too hard a question. Sorry. Can you manually modify cheap DMMs to be more safe and better input jacks? Not a chance. Don't even bother. Don't waste your time. Please don't delete the water spillage. Well, yeah, I might edit it together and maybe put it up there, maybe without the text chat, because unless somebody's capturing this particular text chat, so if somebody did catch the whole thing, maybe I can edit the text on there as well and upload it as a blog. But yeah, it was pretty darn funny. So embarrassing. Spilling water on the notebook. Unbelievable. On my first live forum, that was hilarious. I tell you what. What are the odds of that happening? Want to hear about experience with engineering for extreme environments? Yeah, I'll probably do a blog. I could probably do a blog or two on some of the underwater stuff I've worked on. My previous companies, I spent pretty much almost 10 years, I guess, at underwater electronics companies who specialise in underwater electronics. So I'm used to, designing electronics that goes 2 kilometres down on the ocean floor and stuff like that. So yeah, I've got some interesting tales there, I guess. I wish I actually documented a lot more and kept a lot of, I took more photos and even some video of stuff I've worked on over the years, and I just haven't. And oh man, I'm regretting that now. Really, it's just crazy. So yeah, I really wish I had done that. So yeah, I don't have much, many things to show for all my years work in those sort of, a couple of documents and a few photos here and there, but oh man, yeah. Dave, when it comes to getting your home lab set up, would you build or buy your equipment? Keep in mind students don't have much money. Some things are worth building. Power supplies are definitely worth building. Power supplies are easy. You can get just what you want. You can never have too many power supplies. So yeah, I would recommend building your own power supplies as starters. Function gens, there's a few function generator projects around. I've done a couple in the past, a couple of simple ones. But gear's getting pretty cheap these days, but still even, something that costs $200, that's expensive for a hobbyist. That's why I recommend, secondhand gear on eBay. You've got to be careful what you're buying, of course, but so many bargains to be had. So really, especially in the US, it's worse here in Australia. It's not as good here in Australia, but the US is fantastic for secondhand gear. You can set up, if you had a big enough area, you could set up a lab worth $1 million. That was worth $1 million worth of gear for like, a couple of $1,000s. It's just crazy. You can get your own pick and place machines and all sorts of stuff. It's just nuts. Do I have any patents? Yes, I have a patent for one of my underwater things. It's a co-patent. Doug Ford was also on that patent as well, and a bunch of other guys. That's the only one, I think, that's the only one that actually made it through. I did try to get a patent on my PodSweat software program because my brother-in-law, who's a patent attorney, talked me into trying to get, he wrote the whole thing for me. So yeah, but I didn't go ahead with that. So I got the provisional patent for that PodSweat program, and I just, didn't go ahead with it because I lost interest in it, and yeah, so there it sits. Random question what logic family should be used when prototyping and designing digital circuits? HC, 74HC is probably the best, the easiest to get, the easiest to work with. So yeah, 74HC series. Proper blog about making some lab equipment. Yeah, well, I'm working on some stuff, so maybe you'll see something soon. Well, not soon, but you know, in a few months' time, maybe. What is Podsweat? What is Podsweat? Go to podsweat.com and you'll find out. That's mine. It's my website, my software. It's a gym. It's a fitness exercise program, basically for your iPod. I did it quite a few years ago now. I'm not sure how many years ago. And it's a voice synthesized. My wife actually did the voices because what my software did, I wrote this PC software that joins human voices together to like voice words, snippets to generate a complete sentence. So it's like a poor man's computer generated voice, but with a real voice. I know that's not new technology, but that was part of it. And then it embeds then it generates an MP3 file for that, and then downloads that to your iPod automatically, the voice instructions, and then the tags. I use the MP3 tags to actually embed the text fitness instructions in there. So, you know, do 10 reps and things like that, and you know, so it's a fitness program for iPods, and I thought it was pretty darn novel at the time, and so did my patent attorney brother-in-law, who wanted me to get a patent for it and hopefully get bought out by Apple or somebody like that, but it never happened. I lost one of those projects. So there's a demo version available for download, but I never got further than that. It's a bit of a shame, because my attention span isn't that high. Sometimes I just get bored with the project and go on to the next before finishing it. It's real sad, really. Do I know any analog technology calculations well? It's a bizarre question. You might have to rephrase that one better. I'm reasonable at analog. I know how to do, I do analog interfacing, low-level analog stuff, and I'm reasonably good at it, I like to think. What do I think of the Fluke 17B from China for $80? It looks reasonable value. I haven't actually laid my hands on one yet. I might have to speak to the guy at Fluke Australia, but it's only for the Chinese market. You're not supposed to be able to buy it in the US. So yeah, but for the features and the fact that it's a Fluke, and I've seen inside it, someone posted some photos inside, it looks like decent internal build quality, so, you know, I don't know until I get my hands on it. By the way, I shot the first multimeter blog yesterday, the multimeter shootout blog, or I shot most of it. I haven't finished yet. These were the $5 $50 meters, and I shot those, and I shot tons of footage for those, and I bought the memory card back in and uploaded the images, uploaded the video last night. It was like 150 clips. Oh God, what am I doing? Crazy. But they were short, sharp, you know, I'd film each one, so the same test on each meter 5 times. So there's 5 videos, and then 5 more, and 5 more, and 5 more, and it's up to 150 clips already. It's nuts. Man, that's going to take a hell of a long time to edit, let me tell you, because the more clips I have to edit, I've got to edit each one, the start and end, and it's going to take hours to edit that. It's nuts. And that's only the $50 shootout, let alone the $100 shootout. Would I buy scopes off DL Extreme? I haven't personally, but a lot of people on the forum have, and they give them the thumbs up. So DL Extreme, well, there's two. There's DL Extreme, which is the big, well-known one, and then there's DL XL or something, who are advertising on the forum as well. And some people have bought off them, and they seem okay. But now you can actually, tequipment.net, you can buy the Rigol for $3.99, I think, including postage in the US, because Rigol have dropped their prices. So there may not be much advantage to buying direct from China anymore, because you buy from China, you don't get the warranty on the scope. So it's probably worthwhile now buying from a reputable dealer like T-Equipment. What's the time? 9:10. I don't have too much longer. I can probably go for another 10 or 15 maybe. What video editing software do I use? ULead, which is bought out by Corel. So it's Corel Video Studio X3. I used to use X2, but I just upgraded to X3. So the last 5 vlogs or something have been done on the new X3 software. And it's really cheap. I got it for like $60 to $50. So it's really quite cheap. And it does exactly what I want. But I've been using that for years, so I'm used to using it. I think it's real easy to use. So ULead Video Studio. And it works really well. And it's got some new auto music generation stuff in it. So the new intro and exit music come from that. They're sort of like an auto-generated music. So, when are you going to teach us spectrum analysis and compare products? Well, I need some spectrum analyzers. I don't have a spectrum analyzer in my lab, so I would have to get one really to do a practical demonstration. Corel. Somebody hates Corel. There's a Corel hater in the audience. Yeah. We know you don't think much of USB scopes, but what about USB logic analyzers? Yes, I've done a log on logic analyzers, so look that up. And yes, USB logic analyzers are fine. In fact, I prefer them over standalone ones, because standalone ones take up too much bench space. And really, I think for a logic analyzer, you really need that big screen, which you can get on the PC. There's no substitute for that. So, yeah, really, unless you've got some huge monster, big Agilent thing with a 1024 by 768 screen on the logic analyzer, you're better off going for one of those cheap USB ones. They're great. So yeah, so don't think I hate USB based test equipment. I don't. The logic analyzers are fantastic. Go for it. For a couple $100 you can get a brilliant one. Yes, USB scopes suck because they're much better. Well, they can suck. You can pay good money. You can pay $1,000 for a USB scope, and they're going to be pretty good. But I prefer a bench scope. What is the best way to get started with FPGAs, development board, HDL, etc.? That's a tough question because there's a conflict of interest with work. So, yeah, let's not go there. Because I actually design FPGA development boards. Anyway, yeah. Did you ever build spy equipment? Yes, I did. I've got, let's have a look. Do I still have it? Oh, come on, where is it? Where's all your books when you need them? Hang on. No, they must be in the archives, sorry. Yes, I built FM bugs. I was really into FM bugs, talking electronics. They're still in business, I think. They used to be a magazine here in Australia, and they did a whole series of spy bugs and things like that. And they were great when I was a kid. Brilliant. They had the PCB attached to the front of the magazine, so you buy the magazine, you've already got the PCB, and absolutely brilliant. Talking electronics, and they've got a whole series of FM bug books. You can still buy them, and I highly recommend them. They're really good. Yes, talking electronics, that brings back some memories. Colin Mitchell, who still runs it. He still runs the website, I think, and good on him. God, don't know how old he is now, but geez, I think he wasn't young 20, 30 years ago when I was playing with that sort of stuff. Are there any interesting hobby around the house projects you have done? Yeah, there's a few. If you go to Boondaburra, which is a website for my house. You can see some photos of all my home renovation projects. So yeah, the link's out there. Easy to find, and yeah, you can almost have a guided tour of my house and projects I've worked on. I built a big back deck. If you go to alternatezone.com/gallery, I think there's some photos of my back deck, which I built. I'm quite proud of that. I built my solar sponge air heater, solarsponge.com, which is up on my roof above me. So go to solarsponge.com. Dave, what do you think about developing some community projects? From John MX. Yeah, community projects are great. I don't know if I have time personally to actually work on them or not, because yeah, I don't have enough time to do the blog really, let alone work on community projects and my own projects. So you know, all the hackerspace stuff. There's a hackerspace here in Sydney I haven't visited yet. I've donated some gear to them, but yeah, that's as far as I've gotten really. Anyway, what else have we got? Have you looked into laser microphones? They are pretty awesome. However, a lot of do-it-yourself designs are crap. No, I haven't. I've got a, I've got down here. I've got down here a laser distance meter. It's a laser distance controller. There's the laser module, and yeah, there it is there. And I haven't played with this laser on off. It's, you know, I've got two of these. I've got a couple of these modules. It's a Keyence LB70 or something, and it's a laser distance. I think it's only for short distances, like a, you know, a couple of meters or something like that. And it's a laser distance meter. I've been thinking about playing with that. It's not really a laser microphone, but I thought I'd just show you that. I've had that for years, and really it's, you know, yeah, I think I've had that for about 8 years, and yeah, a key on the front to turn it off and on. It's really magical mystery cupboard, yeah. Dave, has anyone been really fun? Don't understand some of those questions. Hey Dave, what line of microprocessors do you prefer to design with? Well, I haven't done anything with big dedicated microprocessors for quite a few years. If I did, I'd probably go, you know, ARM or Blackfin, or yeah, one of those. I don't know. I'd weigh up the pros and cons. I'm into microcontrollers these days. Most of my projects fit into, because you can get massive microcontrollers. There's, you know, not often that I have to use a microprocessor with external memory and stuff like that. My designs just aren't that big. They all seem to fit in the little, you know, 8, 16 or 32-bit microcontrollers. Because when you've got 256K of memory, 512K in some of these 32-bit micros, 32K of SRAM, you know, you can do a hell of a lot in the 32-bit micros these days. So microcontrollers are a bit more niche. Do your designs consider eco-green issues? Does industry consider it a high priority? I'd like to, because I'm an environmentalist, but I know in the scheme of things it doesn't make a huge difference. All this ROHS stuff is a pain in the ass, I think, because if you go through the, you know, it's, I mean, it's good, but yeah, it's a pain in the ass. It really hinders your manufacturing quality and stuff like that. Sometimes it's hard to get right. The industry is really still learning how to get ROHS right. And eco-green issues, well, you know, no, not really. I'd like to, because I know it's not a huge thing. If you're going to design electronics, all the components are going to come from China or anything anyway. With my projects, sometimes I'm trying to use, maybe, you know, if there's an Australian-made box, I'll try and use a locally made project box instead of, you know, something from China or or somewhere. So, you know, I did little tiny things like that. Yep. Any other questions? Quick, it's 9:20. I better sign off in a couple of minutes. So, any last minute questions? No, I think has the chat died? The chat seems to have died. I'm not getting... Oh, hang on. No, sorry. Yes, it is. No, I need to scroll down. What does it mean when the oscilloscope is Gaussian? It's a Gaussian response. So look up Google Gaussian frequency response, and it's basically the roll-off, or the roll-off of the roll-off response of the front end of the scope. So yeah, go Google Gaussian filter response. I think you should get some hits on that. Don't you hate it when electronics comes in that terrible, impossible to open plastic? Yes, I hate that. Even just yesterday at work, one of our products at work came in one of those sealable, you know, those heat sealed plastic things. A couple of the one or two of the multimeters for the shootout came in those plastic things, I think. Oh, really annoying. Yeah, I hate them. What other field of engineers do you find to have the hardest people to work with? Oh, God. I don't know. I've worked with software engineers, mechanical engineers, acoustic engineers, ceramics engineers, materials engineers, production engineers, you know, all sorts of, pretty much everyone. Oh, God, I'd have to think about that. Production can be tough, but only because I came from my previous job had lots of production issues, and production was a pain in the ass. So off the top of my head, I'd say production engineers. Can be sure the Rigol soft mod doesn't mess up the scope's measurements somehow? No, unless I do full performance metrics on the entire design. No, but you know, just my experience tells me that that's how they program it at a factory. Then they've even admitted as such. Rigol's actually essentially admitted that you know, it's, you know, it shouldn't, that the mod is just changing the serial number and the model number, and bingo, it gives you the functionality. So everyone who thinks that somehow you know, it does affect the performance of your scope, and that they do special testing on the 100 megahertz model, I can pretty much guarantee you they don't, I think. When's the next live blog? Well, yeah, I goofed this one up totally, so I might do it earlier than next Monday, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll see how it goes. I'll download the recorded version, see if it's any good. I'll experiment with this webcam again, because it seems to be given a higher update rate than the one in the notebook, in the EEPC notebook. What is my main source of components and hobby projects? You know, I've got so much stuff at work and stuff. JCar, Farnell's offer free postage now here in Australia, which is really good. RS, you know, but yeah, JCar, Altronics here in Australia. Has the wife calmed down? I don't know. The door's locked. She's on that side. I'm on this side, so I'll have to go out there soon. What do your employers think of the EEVblog? They know I do it, and they like it. They encourage it. They encourage everyone to do blogs and, you know, blog about the company and stuff like that. But I'm not allowed to say anything negative about the company or negative about their products in any way, or promote the competition or something like that. So that's why there's a few subjects which I just deliberately don't touch on the blog, because of potential conflict of interest with work. So even though I may not get in trouble for it, I just don't want to, you know, do it. And I hope they don't latch onto it and make me, try and make me plug their products on the blog, because I don't want to do that. I want to keep it deliberately separate. So that's why you won't hear me mention my work at all. Thank you. Thumbs up, Dave. The webcam has been great. Audio and video, I have an RFID rim. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. no worries, guys. Oh, yeah, I'll call it quits. So, yeah, thanks for turning up. Sorry that I absolutely screwed up the notebook. That was absolutely hilarious. I can't believe it. I was in so much of a rush. Oh, God, desk is so untidy and it just spilled everywhere and wah, 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 wah. So, yep, thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll probably do another live blog soon because it's fun, I think. But I'll see how the video and audio turns out. So thanks for turning up, everyone. There were like 66 people or something turned up. I'm not sure how many viewers, 67 guests and 67 viewers. I'm not sure if that's a coincidence or not. But yeah, thanks everyone for turning up. Thanks for your questions, and I got to head to work, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi guys, I'm on live. Am I up? Somebody acknowledge that they can see me. On air, woohoo! Thanks guys. You can see me, alright. Just let me get this chat thing sorted out. And let's see who's online. We've got 55 viewers, 1 broadcaster, that's me. And who do I recognise? Alan W, I recognise. ABR Freaks, Brian Hoskins, g'day Brian. Chemical Oliver, I recognise. DM Landrum, I recognise. Good on ya. Thanks for turning up, guys. And who else? John MX, I recognise. Who else have we got? Safari, I recognise. G'day Safari. Who else we got? Not sure. Anyway, g'day. Thanks everyone for turning up. Now I've just got to follow this damn chat. I've got so many messages here. I love you, Dave. I love you too, Marcel. Thanks. Now I did a trial of this yesterday. A couple of people actually showed up. And it was really manageable and it kind of worked. So, but now I've got like 50 odd people. I think 100 people RSVP, but I think there's some goof up with the time. Somebody sent me a quick message like a couple of minutes ago that the time was incorrect or something. 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time was wrong. I don't know. Can anyone confirm? Anyway, it's 8 a.m. here in Sydney, and, well, I'm here, so hopefully no one's missing out. Anyway, I am recording. Just let me double check that. And I am recording. Yes, I'm recording and broadcasting, so in as high a quality video as I can do. We tried to sort this out yesterday, and this is basically the best frame rate we can actually get. So, sorry about that, that's just the way it works, but the audio should be spot on because I'm using, if I can, so much shit here on the bench, it's not funny. I'm using my Samsung C01U USB broadcasting mic, so check 1, 2, and that works really good. Now I'll show you what the difference is between the, I just sit this over in the corner here, should probably move it a bit closer. Sorry, it's a, whoop, shit, spillage, water spillage, hang on, woohoo, we have an emergency, spilled water on the laptop, this is not good. Hang on, we have an emergency, I've got to get the sponge, woohoo! Sponge time. Knocked over my glass of water. The wife's not happy. It's the wife's notebook. I'm in serious trouble.
Here you go. Use paper towels. It won't absorb it.
Hang on. There there you go. Our first EEVblog live event, and I've screwed the pooch. Awesome. Ah, love it. Anyway, this is pretty bad, so just let me clean this up, and explosion in 5, 4, 3, 2. How's the chat going there? He's sleeping on the couch tonight. No kidding, guys. Hang on. Yeah, just let me remove the notebook. And there you go. You get a lovely view of the... Oh, no, hang on. This is hilarious. It's going live. It's been recorded. Fantastic. That serves me right for getting a glass of water ready so my voice doesn't turn all horrible, which it probably is. This is great. I love live events. They just work so well. Oops, the laptop's beeping at me. I'm not sure what's actually happening. Something's going beep, beep, like I'm plugging in and unplugging a USB peripheral or something. Yeah, my voice is fine. Yes, because the mic is really, really good. And I've got the sample rate set to 44K sample per second. And I'll show you that in a minute. Once I just get this tidied up here, I'm almost done. And the camera, Dave, huh? Camera attachments are dying. Video is choppy. Video is here, lag. I don't know. Sorry guys, I'll catch up on this chat in a second. And all right, we are good to go again, I think. Bloody USB cables. It pays to get wireless. That's what tripped over the glass of water here. And woohoo! One empty, one full. Okay, we're back on live, and sorry about that. Awesome work. That was brilliant. Okay. Now, is everything working? No video here. People are saying they can't see the video. That's strange. I'm broadcasting. And yeah, the notebook's beeping at me as if something's been attached and unattached. That's weird. Video is back. Yeah, you know, the frame rate is going again. Vid's okay now. Definitely one full. Getting about 1 frame per second. Yeah, sorry, the frame rate is pretty shit. I don't know what's going on. In trials yesterday, we really couldn't sort out the frame rate issue. It just is what it is, really. So I don't know if it's been recorded okay or not. I guess I'll find out when it's finished and I stop recording. So anyway, yeah, what I wanted to show you is that, hang on. No, I can't actually switch. I'm using Google Chrome here for the first time, and I can't actually switch over to the Google Chrome window. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So I'm stuck in the chat room, basically. So I wanted to show you what happens when I lower the audio sample rate from the mic. And yeah, I can see the video frame rate's terrible here too. Anyway, let's continue. Because at least we can get the audio out of it, so the people who want to watch the recorded show can get the audio. Anyway, okay, let's go. Let's start. Anyone got any questions? Because, no, don't fire away yet, hang on. Because the reason I didn't want to present something in this live episode is because, well, I just don't see the point. Because if I'm going to actually prepare something and do it, I may as well do it as a regular standalone blog, because it's just going to turn out better. So, yeah, can't see any reason to do that. I may as well interact with an audience. Otherwise, what's the point of doing a live streaming event? It's like those webinars, right? I absolutely hate webinars. I think they're the stupidest concept ever because they're generally just prepared material that's just spewed out there to a live audience because these marketing dickheads think that they're, oh, webinars, the latest trend and all engineers want to watch webinars and things like that. Yeah, only if we can interact properly and then they don't make it available live afterwards. It's just, it's nuts. Anyway, webinars, I hate them. So, yeah, if I'm going to prepare decent content and put it out there, don't do it live. It's stupid. I'll just do a blog and upload it. So, yeah, this is going to be totally interactive, I hope. So it's a test. If it works, I'll probably do it every Monday. If it doesn't, well, you probably won't see it again. Now, is the brightness, is it too bright on the video, guys? Can anyone give me some feedback? Show us your wife. Techno junk. I don't think my wife wants to be on camera. There's a few photos of her around on the web if you want to see her, but because what I've got is I've got new, I've got some studio lights, and I've got them switched on. So the studio lights. Now this could be tragic if I goof this up. The whole lab's going to come crashing down. But check it out. These are my new. This is my new softbox. I've got two of these things, and they're quite large, and they're on these stands which are like adjustable up to 2.5 meters high. So they're really, decent quality studio lighting, and I've got those turned on to help fix the frame rate, because the frame rate of webcams is going to vary it's going to vary with the amount of light. So if you've got a webcam and you're getting a crap frame rate out of it, even locally, then you probably don't have enough light. So that's how it is. Anyway, let's get back to the chat. Professional lighting, yes. LEDs? No, they're actually, no, they aren't LEDs. They're 4 compact fluoros, each 50 watts, I think. So there's 200 watts total of daylight wavelength compact fluoro behind that. There you go, the laptop's beeping again. I have no idea why the laptop is beeping at me. That's just crazy. I hope it's not the water. That's just silly, really. Anyway, who have we got here? Tell us about the out of time license plate